Welcome to Extra Connections, your connection to all things. And I'm James Lott Jr, host here of JLJ Media. I am a JLJ of JLJ Media, of course. And you know, on this show, we talk race. We do on the show. I have my once-a-month race talk with my friend Jerry Carroll. The next one's coming up in 2 weeks. We do that live. Usually we're doing it 2 weeks on Monday, I believe. So stay tuned for that. And I've had other people come on and from all walks of life talking about different racial issues on here. We like doing this. Today it's soaps, kids. It's soap opera. Yes, soaps are still on the air. So this is probably, it's part of this audience probably doesn't even know that soaps are on the air, still on the air, folks. But we're talking about the past, present, and the future. I have titled this, of course, Race, Love, and Black Folks on Soaps. My guest is a librarian. I love that. It's like it was one of the jobs I wanted to be as a kid. And my mother wanted to open up a bookstore with cats walking around. That's what she's always wanted to do. Didn't happen, but we have lots of books in our house. We're voracious readers. But he is, and he's from my favorite state of New York, favorite city of New York. And it's my friend, Donald Peebles Jr. Hi, Donald.
Hello, James. Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead. Please go ahead. You say hi. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone this evening?
Good. Okay. So, folks, we'll do the house church announcements. This is Extra Connections. You can follow us on all social media platforms, of course. This show in particular will have some things that may be triggering for some, so make sure I say it on here. We may have different opinions, but it is open space to talk about it in the chat and here. If I see anything in the chat that's inappropriate or rude or bullying, I will kick you out. I have no problem. I'll probably call you out first and then kick you out. But my audiences are usually very good and are open for the discussion. And that's what for me, I believe discussion. But anyways, we have that here. Super chats are available if you want to give to JLJ Media. They are available. They're here on here. So please give if you want to. Today is Soap Sunday. So earlier today, we had the Y&R Mini Spotlight. Me, Tammy Govey, and Amanda Russ talked about all the stuff was going on in that show. And that is out now, audio and video. And then we did the GH Mini Spotlight, me and Frank Moran, with a message from Lucretia Lyons. She did a little message. We talked about all things Nurses Ball and Ice Princess. And that was on today. Also, we did that. That's available for everybody out there. And also for audio listeners only, Bold and Beautiful Rewind. I did an episode because on Tuesday, it's their 9,000th episode. And it's all about Steffi Forrester. So I talk about how I feel about that. So you check that out on all audio platforms. So you get your full stuff. Also, if you didn't know this, I do after shows for the following: All My Children, One Life to Live, Dallas, Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, and Dynasty 2 The Colby. So if you want to check out any of those, audio or video, go to wherever you find this stuff at, and you can find them there. Type those in. So you can see that there. So I do all kinds of soap stuff. I do here. I give you enough, right? We do that. So I'm make sure I get all those out. That's the church now. Oh, and support my chocolate twin, Tony Moore, over at Dishin Days. They have a new episode out today, talking all things Days of Our Lives. So make sure you check them out on their channel, Dishin Days. All right. That's the church announcements, folks. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Hi, everybody in chat room. Tommy, I love you in there. Jason Jose, Joy Jensen, GH fan. I'm glad you guys are here and ready for the discussion. I'm sure others will come in. Tell everybody to come on in. If you're watching this later, listening to it later, welcome. And I also will welcome any comments. So if you have any comments, please give them. I want to hear what you have to say. Donald, first of all, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm on vacation from work this week, so I am extremely glad about that.
I'm sure you're on vacation. What's that? I don't know what that is. Good for you. So I mean, I want just briefly tell people. There's two questions I always want to kind of ask you. Hi, Beauty for Ashes. Hello. Okay. So you are a librarian. So tell people kind of what. I mean, we all have ideas what that is. Tell people what that is. What you do.
Well, I am the adult services librarian at Brooklyn Public Library. I work at the Saratoga branch of Brooklyn Public Library. I've been a librarian for almost 7 years. What I do as a librarian is facilitate programs, man the circulation desk, Find books on the holds list. I do a little bit of everything. It's kind of like a one size fits all type of thing. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that, but I'm just keeping it a little bit real. Because people think librarians are just only doing about books. No,
Yeah.
years ago, yes. We're in this age now in which we're in the digital age, and we're also in the age of social services. So it's pretty much gatekeeper, librarian, facilitating programs, doing the holds, doing displays, and just doing customer service work.
I like that. That's very cool. I actually have a library card here in Los Angeles. I always have one wherever I go, and I've used their services. Some libraries, as we always say, library. Some libraries, they have actually rooms you can rent, which I, for a while, in between the studio I used to work for after TV closing and this, I used to rent space from them. So you had to go to the desk, and they would handle all the scheduling. And so yeah, it's much more than, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on there. So yeah, so everybody, so thank you for explaining that. Now I also want to ask you, I said, yeah, Mike, so we have it in the chat room already. I'm so proud to see my fellow Black men talking live. Yes, I bring it to you guys. I bring you the Blackness. You know that. Okay, but the number one thing I want to ask you is, when did you get into soap operas?
Oh wow! My grandmother Sally Peebles introduced me to soap operas at the age of 5. She was an ABC soap opera watcher at the time, but she used to watch CBS. So she watched As the World Turns. The amazing thing about As the World Turns was, I remember, I'm jumping a little bit, but I remember when As the World Turns celebrated its 30th anniversary. And it was a big thing because I used to go to the other stations to watch their anniversary episodes. So when I went to Channel 2 to see what is the show about, my grandmother knew about As the World Turns. She knew about Chris and Nancy Hughes, Tom, Lisa, Kim, Susan, Ellen. And she used to ask me what she could not believe when she saw those episodes. And I would watch As the World Turns from time to time when I was bored with One Life to Live. So I would go over to Channel 2, and my grandmother would ask me, Don Jr., is so-and-so still on there? I'm like, yeah. She could not believe it. But she was an ABC watcher when I started watching it. Ryan's Hope, All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital, The Edge of Night. So I've been watching soaps ever since. My aunt, Rogina, was a student at John Jay College of Criminal Justice here in New York. She used to audio tape All My Children. All My Children was hot back in 1982. I fell in love with all of these characters in Pine Valley: Erica Kane, Palmer Cortland, Daisy Cortland, Dr. Cliff Warner, Nina Cortland Warner, Jesse Hubbard, Angie Baxter. Yeah, I'm going in. Jenny Gartner, Greg Nelson, Liza Colby. Oh, that show was hot in '82. So I've been watching it ever since then. But then, of course, me being in school, I couldn't catch. So whenever I was out of school, my grandmother was on home health aide out in Floral Park, Long Island. So whenever I was home for the summer, I would watch All My Children. That was her lunch break at 1 p.m. And so I've loved soap ever since then. I watched daytime, primetime, even syndicated. I'm a soap opera head. I've been a soap opera head all of these years. I love everything soap, everything soapy. So that's how I started watching the soaps.
Jacari says his first soap was As the World Turns too. He mentions Jessica Griffin, Carly, Tenny, Bob. Tommy is all like, look at Don name dropping classic characters. That's right, kid. Your bestie is in here, Rashonda, Professor.
Yes.
And hello to EFCCNY1. Hello, you guys. These are people I don't know who you guys are. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe.
Harry.
Hit the subscribe button. Do all that stuff. Support me. My mom watched AMC. Jason Jose says yes. So for my context, for me, I'm a little older than Donald. My mother and aunts and them watched all the stories also. We're talking like in prime time too, Peyton Place, Dark Shadows, all that. And I remember being a kid, seeing those on TV, not understanding what was going on. But the earliest ones for me, of course, were Search for Tomorrow, The Doctors, Another World. And then by the time I really started getting into them was late 70s, and it was the heyday of General Hospital, Wired to Live, All My Children, Ryan Tope, and he said Edge of Night. And then of course, in 1983, I got to Days of Our Lives. And then so, but I watched all of them. I watched all of them. I double C. I watched all of them. So yeah, just about all of them. So there was like 23 soaps at one time, and then 13 at another time, and
yeah,
now 4. But yes, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I used to watch them too. So soaps were always something, you know. And in college, a lot of my friends would around school time, like I said, tape. I used to tape them too. And then TiVo came out, I TiVo'd them. Now I DVR or watch them on, you know, whatever. So yeah, over the years, the technology has, you know, afforded us to watch the shows. Double C said watched 90 soaps and a bit of Sunset Beach. Yes, my favorite was Santa Barbara. My favorites of all time. But I mentioned that because first, to give you guys a little idea. So we're longtime soap watchers. So I just want people to get the idea. They know that we didn't just wake up today and start watching soap operas. We've been watching them for a long time. So now getting into this, I've done a couple episodes of All My Children and Want to Live where I highlighted Black characters. And so I want to start with a question to you. This is an open question to all of you at home and to Donald. Do you think the state of Black characters on soaps are worse or better today than before?
I'm gonna say a lot of things. You know what?
Please,
I talk about this stuff all the time with you on Twitter with Eric and Rayshawn and Eleanor and all my other friends. I'm gonna say that they have been a lot improvements of Blacks on daytime soap since the 1960s, of course. You know, because we started off how can I say it? We started off in, I would say, ghettoized portrayals as the Black ground. Well, I got that from White Girl in Danger. Y'all need to see this in New York.
Yes, I'm jealous. You can see it. I'm in LA. I can't see it yet, so I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But it was a battle to getting Black people onto television. It was a battle. Yeah, it was a lot of like behind the scenes stuff getting Black people on TV. Period. Besides daytime. I'm gonna say within the last 60 years, there have been strides. There have been progress in some areas, but in some things, it's just like some things are going back. I say I'm gonna go to the Young and the Restless. I gotta get that out of my.
Before you do that, because we're gonna do each soap opera separately. I'm gonna ask you a question about each soap opera. Talk about it.
Okay.
In general, just do you think so? You feel like there's been some strides. We've also gone backwards too, a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we weren't where we were back during the mid to late 1960s. Thank goodness with that. I mean, a lot of things have happened in the world within the last 60 years. Television is a mirror of what's going on in the wider society. Different movements happened at the time. They were moments, you know. So television, I would say, a lot of television reflected and reflects what's going on in the wider world. Some writers reflect those things, and some writers don't, and other writers don't. But I would say overall, yes, yes, I would say things have gotten better. I mean, because you see we are in integrated storylines. I think there has been the fight to get Black people integrated into the mainstream storylines. But there are just still some things that I kind of see like, we were getting to a point, and then some writers like, I don't know if I want to go completely, fully there.
Okay. So we're going to, so for the purposes, you watch all 4 soaps, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go through each soap currently, and we might make references to other soaps in the past, but I want to go through each soap currently and kind of talk about their racial stuff because, like Donald, I speak out on colorism, which is also important to you. Black, brown, Asian, Hispanic, I mentioned all that stuff in there too. And we're going to talk a little bit about interracial also. So we're going to cover all that. So the first soap I want to start with is Young and the Restless. Or excuse me, The Young and the Restless. And I want to start with them first, everybody. So everybody, if you're watching The Restless, join in. I want to start with that first. Currently, how are you feeling about their representation? Because you bet, because this how it all started was you bring some stuff up. So let's do it. Let's start there.
Let's like Jackie Harris said on that Days Our Lives promo, let's do this. So we're gonna do this. I have an issue with the optics. That's what I'm talking about, people with the optics, because I know when I tweet stuff, people get so triggered and they assume certain things about me. So I'm gonna make a lot of things clear and I'm gonna make a lot of things plain like they say up in the church. I'm gonna make some things plain. So what I'm gonna say that the optics of Nate and Davon dumping Amanda and Elena to get in with those 2 Newman sisters, Victoria and Abby. The optics are saying a whole lot with that because it's not like Amanda and Elena had a balance. You know, okay, like they they were other men or even women that they could get with. And I think when I tweeted that, people were coming after me. Oh, but Davon and Abby were together. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Yes, I'm very knowledgeable that Melissa Ordway, who plays Abby Newman Abbott Chancellor, said that in Soap Opera Digest that she fought to have Davon and Abby to get together. So I know that because see, when I talk, I come with the receipts. I come with the facts. I'm a librarian. I'm a historian. See, I don't just say things to sound good or just to like I'm on a street corner saying some pseudoscientific stuff. So I do go to the evidence because again, I'm a librarian. I'm a researcher. I'm a historian. I'm nosy. I'm a history major. So I'm going to always go to the proof. And Melissa Ordway did say that. So, and then I remember Davon and Abby having a dinner several years ago in which they had lobster and I think scrambled eggs or something like that. So I thought something was going to happen then because I think that was when Hillary was still married to Neil. Oh God. How Davon cheated with Hillary behind Neil's back. Davon, I'm kind of having issues with him too because he's very judgmental and very anal. And I'm like, Davon, you slept with Hillary and you slept with your play auntie Tyra Hamilton, who's played by Eva Marcille. Okay, but behind Roxanne's back. Roxanne was played by Tatiana Ali, y'all. Roxanne didn't hardly talk. Roxanne was a smiling, didn't say words. She spoke then, but that's a whole nother issue. So because I know people are kind of like, oh, but you're being anti-interracial. No, I'm not anti-interracial at all. Because I'm going to give y'all a little story here. Ray Sean knows, me and Ray Sean, we had thought, we were brainstorming some things we wanted to see on The Young and Restless. This was several years ago. We wrote a letter. We came up with some storyline ideas we wanted to see under Maria Arena Bell. We wrote a letter to her. We imagined what would have happened if Neil had gotten with Nina, because Nina was best friends with Ryan. No, okay. She was married to Ryan. I'm sorry. Yeah. Neil was Ryan's best friend at the time. So we just and then Christophe St. John did say he had a crush on Trisha Cass when they were on Bad News Bears. So we were playing on that. That was what we were playing because see, it's like you got to know about the popular culture stuff. So we were like, let's play with that. So what happened was we was going to happen to have a wedding at the Chancellor Mansion. But what was going on was that Davon's biological mommy, Yolanda, Yolanda wanted Neil so bad. So she was like a Catherine Wentworth from Dallas. Her attitude was like, if I can't have it, no one else will. So she was gonna come in with a gun at the Chancellor match, and she was gonna shoot down Neil at the wedding. So what we were going to do was, as soon as Nina and Neil would have gotten married, a gunshot would have erupted. So Neil didn't get shot though. Sharon had gotten shot because Sharon was one of the bridesmaids. Sharon had gotten shot, rushed to the hospital. Nick declared his love, and he had dumped Phyllis. And then we also had an idea. We wanted Nate to come back to town, Generous City. We wanted him to come back to town from college. But he was going to come back, but he was very secretive about what was going on in his life at that time. So we had him do actually to get closer to Davon. But there was some stuff going on. So we wanted the people to wonder what's going on with Nate. Because that was before Brooks Darnell had came. We were thinking about Nate when he was played by Walter Fauntleroy during that Black History Month. I forgot what year it was. So we wanted him to come back to town with a mystery. And we had Olivia to come back to town as well. And me and Ray Sean had wanted to actually, there was a secret that we wanted him to have. And then we had created a new Black character named Raleigh. Raleigh, like the same spelling as Raleigh, North Carolina. But he was going to be the son of that detective Selena Wiley. She was working with Paul Williams, Faye Hauser. So he was going to come as her son. He was going to work with Paul. So what happened was there was going to be some things going on with them. We wanted to actually make Nate gay. Because we never seen a Black gay storyline. Yes, we've seen a Black DL storyline on Passions with Chad and Vincent / Valerie, but to actually see a Black gay storyline, we would have wanted to see that happen. Like Nate, Nate was very cryptic about what was going on. But then we had Abby trying to flirt with Nate. I think they stole my idea actually, because Nate did get with Abby. And Riley was going to come in there to cock block Abby. So Riley was going to be Nate's boyfriend. Well, of course that didn't happen. But the fact, and I bring all that up just to say that if I was anti-interracial, I would have never had an idea with Neil and with Nina. Because a lot of times when you bring up race, you bring up Blackness on social media, people are very triggered. So they're figuring, okay, you're attacking me, you're attacking my life. And it's not an attack to me, because it just seems like when you talk about Blackness or race, some of our people, and other people too, oh, you're anti this, you're anti that. No, I'm not anti anything. I'm pro people. And I just think that in 2023, we should be able to talk about race. We should be able to talk about Blackness instead of feeling like you're a bigot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you get. There's a lot to unpack. Okay, so here's the deal. So, and your friend says, or you remember recreating that storyline, Center producers. So here's the deal for me. So I have to preface this with, I am mixed race. My children are, my grandchildren are. I would not be here if I wasn't from interracial, so I would not be here, clearly. I wouldn't be here. But I look like this. My DNA came back from this is the truth. My DNA came back from Ancestry.com, and I'm 55% white, actually. I gained more of those genes than anything else. So I just want to get that out the way. So I have no problem. I don't have no self-hatred, no problem. None of that kind of stuff. When it comes to interracial, I make sure I get that very clear. But I'm also very supportive of same race love also. I think there's nothing wrong with being supportive of that, especially when it comes to representation on television. Prime time is kind of doing it now, so they're pretty much, and when I say prime time, that includes streaming, all that stuff. It's like television, the word television is changing. I think we all can agree with that. It's already changed. Daytime is still kind of the archaic model when it comes to game shows and soap operas. It's kind of like that's daytime, but everything else is kind of evolved and whatever. So I said all to say, when it comes to Y&R, I spoke out and got in trouble last year because I'd said it's really weird to me that there's no Black business in General City anymore. It was all dismantled to be under this Chancellor Winters and Jill is still the lead, and she's white. Imani and Amanda started their own business. Wait, where's Imani? Where is she? What happened to her? Like, where's Imani? And I felt, okay, we never got their business because they had them come under the umbrella. They had Devon go, I'm gonna take Chancellor Hamilton Winters and bring it to you guys. It was like, so he's not the head of anything anymore, really. It's like, what's going on here? Like, there's no true Black business in Genoa City. It's like it's completely gone. And I had a problem, and again, it was optics. I had a problem with that. Right. So I was at home, I was gonna stay there. I had a problem with that. Also, Imani was after Nate. There was a little triangle there that died for Victoria. So now, I was kind of like, this is interesting. This is very interesting. And yes, Devon and oh my God, and Abby have a history. Also, we go across the board. Yes, Lily and Daniel have a history too. Folks are getting mad, which I understand on some level because she's always dating white boys. Kevin, Kane, all that. Billy, I get it. Now, I want to say this, folks, because this is another thing that was a big thing for a minute there. Crystal Khalil is Black, folks. I'm sorry to tell you this. She's not anything else. She is Black. She is mixed race. Her father's Pakistani. Her mother is Black. That's what it is. They would not have her play a Black person if she wasn't Black. And to me, she looked Black. I was like, she looked Arab. I was like, yeah, she has other things in her. Yes, you can see it or whatever. But to me, she's a brown woman. She's brown. I don't. Yeah, you saw that too out there. It was like for a while, people were questioning her race. And I was like, where did I come from? I'm like, she's Black. We come in all shades and noses and everything, lips and everything. I'm like, she's Black. So anybody has any questions about that? You have one drop Black and blow, you're Black. So she's Black. But I know there's the optics of that she was always. But see, here's what's funny. If I wasn't interracial, I thought Amanda and Billy had chemistry. I was an early supporter of Amanda and Billy. I was. I like Billy and Lily. I didn't care for them, but I was more for them. I was like, so I had no problem. And back in the day, and I talked to Eileen Davidson about this, Neil and Ashley.
Yeah.
They finally put them together. Too bad he passed away.
Yeah.
But they had been scared to put him with Nikki years ago. They were scared to put him with Victoria years ago. So they finally did it. And these are two mature people who had that. They were gorgeous together, looking together too. That it made sense. It kind of, after everything he had been through, everything she had been through, it's like, and they were friends all this time. Like, that made sense for people of that age. I thought that actually made sense. So again, I'm fine for Rich Rest Up, but right now, it just seems like, poor Elena's getting the shaft now, apparently, because of Victoria. Now, mind you, homeboy's hot. I'm sorry, Sean Dominic's hot. He's hot. He's hot. He's hot. Anybody should want him. Hi, Shanika. Everyone's hot. He's hot. And homeboy's third. Everybody should want him. So whatever. But it's just a shame that because we don't have enough representation. I think your friend Rashawn said this earlier in the chat. There needs to be a balance of interracial and Black love, or interracial and Latin love, because we ain't going to begin on what they did to the Latin family. The Rosaleses are all gone. They're bye-bye. But they're bringing up John and Mamie. What do you think about that? They almost became a thing. What do you think about that one?
I loved when Veronica Red came back for the 50th anniversary. Yes. Oh, she looks great. She looks good. Yes, I mean, like, she's like ageless. I mean, the way how she came to the Abbott Mansion, Jack opened the door, she ran to Jack and with Diane, and she was looking at the furniture. Oh, she was throwing shade. Oh, she was morally saying the shit looks the same fucking way when I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a joy to see that. But and I was happy when Mamie spoke to Lily and to Nathan Jr. She came with the shade with that
Yes,
Nathan
yeah.
Jr.
Yeah.
I love that, and I wanted to see Mamie on her brunch with them. That would have been great
Yeah, I
to
know.
see them because I was waiting for that because the thing about the Young and the Restless, which I was having issues with, also they act like they did not want to mention Drusilla and Olivia. That was the issue that I was having because I'm like, wait a minute. Yes, I'm sorry that about Christophe St. John and Neil dying, but it just became a catchphrase. Everything happened. Oh, Neil would have wanted this. Catherine would have wanted this, and I was like, yo, how about Drusilla? Because if it wasn't for Drusilla, Neil would have not been there. To be honest with you,
Well, you know,
Neil.
your point. They mentioned Drusilla when Phyllis died, and actually Daniel asked Lily about her. So I was like,
Yes.
I was surprised.
Yes.
Like, oh, it's about her
Yeah.
mother. You said you lost a mother too. I was like,
Right.
oh my God, they're talking about it. They didn't say her name.
Right.
But go ahead. But it's kind of funny.
And it was a joy when Davon and Nate were talking about Drusilla and Olivia when they were with Abby and Elena. And just and then wait a minute, and the 50th anniversary special show about the digest, they interviewed Victoria Rowell and Tanya Lee Williams and Shamar Moore. And it's like, and the thing, Drusilla's body was never found. I mean, we know about the behind the scenes stuff. We're not gonna really go there. That's a whole nother thing. And I laugh at how people say, "Oh, she should come back. She should. I'm gonna tell y'all, they're not. I used to do that. No. So they're not the shoulds.
You can't. I'll say it. You can't sue Sony and the Bill Bell Company and come back on the show. Sorry, you can't. It's she was in the right.
Yeah.
They can't. They won't do it. That's why they invited her for the Christophe St. John Memorial thing, not the show.
No,
they didn't invite her. They invited her to the 50th celebration reception there, and she had the class to show up, and she was full, and she was like, so. But sorry, kids, it ain't happening.
No, she ain't coming back because on Twitter she tweeted a whole lot of stuff about them co-stars. She was writing stuff about Melody Thomas Scott, the Afro wig. Oh, she was going in about Who Looks Creole. I was like, no, she didn't. She was going in about everybody, and I'm like, and then she was going in about Steve Kent. So you already know. You talking about the boss.
Yes. Well, I said, I know her and I know some of the people involved. So I've actually had conversations with them. So I know for a fact it's not going to happen.
No.
Hell will freeze over again and freeze over again before that happens. Unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. No. And because I still feel that, I really feel, I'm going to really say this since we're being real here. I do feel that after Christophe and Neil died, that golden age of blackness gone. We're not getting that again. We're not getting that again. I know Shamar Moore is coming in another month, but we're not getting that golden age with Drew, Olivia, Neil, Malcolm, and the other black people and Nathan Hastings Sr. We're not getting that age again. That's done because Bill Bell Sr. is gone. Because I still feel after he died, stuff started, like the writing started becoming on the wall. People started showing who they really were. Because on these jobs, I'm gonna tell you, on these jobs, I don't know if I should say this, but on these jobs, soap operas are jobs. Sure. And on these jobs, you may have had a supervisor that looked out for you. But when that supervisor dies or transfers somewhere else, and the other people who were not in alignment with the supervisor, it gets dicey. Don't ask me how I know. People show you. Yeah.
Now, I want to mention, they mentioned already in chat room about Michelle Stafford. I want to tell you something. She's my friend. And actually, Michelle and Victoria have spoken way back in the day. They have spoken. And they actually have made peace with each other.
Oh, nice,
So
nice.
she was telling her story about what happened back in the day. But people get older, they grow up, and things happen.
Yeah.
And I know Michelle was getting hate because of the NAACP thing that happened this weekend, which actually she does a lot of work with. It's my chapter.
Right.
Does a lot of work with them, and actually spearheads it mostly. And she's the leader of it. That's why they handed the award for her, and she spoke on behalf. That it wasn't, they say she gave it to this person who's Black. I'm pretty sorry. She's not the one who was leading it. It was actually Michelle's the one who does all the stuff. So I'm just saying that, it's like I said, I've talked to both Victoria and them. Victoria just telling the story, but what happened, she's on her side of the story. But like they actually had like lunch together, years ago, and no one talks about it. See, no one talks about it because it's not juicy. And Victoria is a very regal, literally very regal. She holds herself high. She has moved on in many ways, and she has a career. And Michelle has done her repentance and does her stuff, and she's moved on too. So it's like, yeah, some things went down back in the day or whatever, but I'm friends with her. I know her family. I've been in her home. She knows, and I'm telling you, she's not racist.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
And and so and she was named in the suit, but it wasn't. She was named with certain co-stars, and there's a whole big thing. But like there's some things that people don't even talk about because people they bring up the other salacious stuff. But actually, Michelle is doing work with Black charities. So it's not just for optics. She's actually doing them. And you can ask those folks. Those folks will tell you if she's doing it for they'll tell you the truth if it's good or bad. So I don't know. I just think people like the juice. They like the dirt.
Yeah,
of course they do. But my thing is, let's continue to hold up. Michelle is a great actress, whatever. Hold up Drusilla. Victoria is a great actress and activist, and let's just go from there. And the bigger thing is she's fighting for rights for Black writers, Black directors, Black cameramen. Victoria Rao, she's fighting. Let's hold her up and help her fight for that.
Right.
That's what I think was most.
Right.
Yeah.
And and the thing, because I was telling, as a matter of fact, when I spoke to you, you made it plain to me, so I was like, oh, okay, because when you don't know the whole story and see the dangers of a single story, by Chiamanda Nkosi Adichie, the dangers of a single story. We hear these single stories and we go along with these single stories. I was guilty of that, so I'm not going to say I was perfect. We all have, I believe, when we're growing up, and when we were in our 20s and our 30s. And when you get older, your mindset shifts. Well, for most people anyway, so I would think the older you get, the wiser and the mature you get. Everyone, it doesn't apply to everyone, but the fact that I retweeted the tweet with Michelle Stafford with the MJWCP and the Urban League. And a lot of people did not know it. Like, they were bringing up the spit thing. I'm like, yeah, but Michelle has been doing this for a long time.
She's doing the work. Yeah, she's done the work for years. And I think she should be allowed to change and grow. She's allowed to do stuff.
And she was doing the work going to 9/11, because I was watching Soap Center. And when after 9/11 happened, Michelle Stafford wanted to do something about it. That's when she had her short hairdo at that time, and she was just saying, like, everybody was wondering how to move on, how to go forward after the attacks on the World Trade Center and on the Pentagon. So she was saying, let's do something about it. So she had a lot of the soap opera actors come together to do a special charity, and it was her, Vanessa Marcil, Stuart Damon, and some other soap opera actors whose names I cannot remember. That was on Soap Center. I remember that. So she was doing the work from way back then. But when you don't know this stuff, you're going by the rumors, you're going by the innuendos, and you're continuing. It's like the old game telephone. The first person hears a message, goes to the second person, hears something completely different.
And also, Her and Christoph St. John were friends to the end. They were very close friends.
Yeah.
She has a lot. She supports a lot of Black business on a regular basis. Quietly, she's not out there tooting the horns. Or she's like, I just say, same with Eric Braeden. Eric Braeden and Peter Bergman got into a fight. They used to fight on set back then. And it's in his book. There's no lie. It's in his book. I asked him about it. And sometimes he's doing, and he's not racist either, folks. Not that he comes to the hood. I live in the hood. He comes to the hood and hangs out here and goes boxing and does all this stuff. And he knows the streets as well as I do. I'm telling you, he like Black folks. I'm like, there's no. So anytime you hear somebody go, he's racist. No, he's not racist. He's very outspoken. He's outspoken about stuff. But no, he believes in equality. He was also close to Christoph. He was also close to me. It's like, I just think, like you said, people hear one thing, this thing, whether it's true or not or whatever, at a certain time, we're talking decades ago, things are different, now. And so some people, I understand, they're like, you do something once, that's it, you're done. Well, there you go. I mean, if that's the case, then there's folks who might still hate me from things from 20, 30 years ago. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I'm 54, I'm the same person I was at 24. I'm just not.
Right.
But what's the hell with Candace Mack is in the chat.
Hey, Candace.
And DC Sub Sanctuary, follow him. He's in the chat too. All of our counterparts. But that's enough about that stuff. I just like that's just something that I saw that was brought up and you get over that. But yes, I completely think there should be some Black representation. They got rid of Moses. I don't know why him and Faith were cute, but he's not on the show anymore, and he was the next generation. I think, but I mean, there's no Black folks. I mean, there's a few Black folks. They're all kind of there's no big Black family. There's no big. No. It's like, I mean, there's no a core Black family. I think we need that on our soap operas. Like, so they got rid of the Latino families that is gone. Where's Kelsey Wang, who plays Allie? I mean, where's she at? I know it's a large cast, but come on, Donald.
Yeah, I was pissy about how they got rid of the Rosales family. I was on a Facebook page. Young Wrestlers had a Facebook page, and they blocked me because I've been blocked for so many people. They blocked me because I told that group that what happened with Mia. Oh, I love her. Mia. Oh, Mia was kicking ass. But see, that's the thing. I think some people had a problem with Mia because she was not the stereotype of the help. She was not the saucy hot stereotype of the Latina, the hot, spicy, those stereotypes. All them stereotypes came from slavery and all that stuff. And she was in there kicking ass, and I said that. I got blocked. They blocked me on Young and Restless Facebook group just because I said that, and I was accused. I was a racist. I'm like, I'm not being a racist. I'm just saying it for what it was to me, the optics to me, because Mia was the first one to go.
I know.
Mia was in there kicking ass. She kicked Abby's ass, and I'm like, she was good. Naomi Gonzalez, she was good. But then there was issues with the Rosales family because some viewers felt that they got rid of the Ashley family in favor for them. So it got into that dicey Black versus Latino divided pocket shit. And I'm like, and the thing about it is, I just feel like these soaps, they can have room for everybody, because I'm the type of person, if you're a good writer, you can write for anybody. You can have space for everybody, because that's the type of, because a lot of you may not know, I'm a published writer, I'm a published author. Okay, so I wrote a book called Hidden Fires. I just didn't do my homework behind the scenes. That's a whole nother topic with that, But I wrote a lot of my characters, very diverse. Rayshawn read it that first night. I had my book signing party, read it first night. 6 hours later, he was done. But I wrote the best way I can. I had different representations of Black people. I had straight Black people. I had Christian Black people. I had gay Black people. I had Afro Hispanics. I had hookers, business people, football, just whole different, because we're not a monolith. Many people think, and I think it goes back to some of the writers' rooms too, thinking that we're all a monolith. We're not a monolith. I mean, the Young and Restless historically has been great to African Americans. I will say that with The Young and the Restless. And the thing, it's been legendary in Black homes, I would say, since the early 1990s.
Before that, it's had a large Black audience. My mother was watching it when she was pregnant with my brother in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
It had a large Black audience.
Oh, okay.
And because they were the first to give us a Black businessman, which was Neil Winters.
Yes.
Gave him a family.
Yeah.
He was the head of a family. He was one of the first that they did that on a major soap opera. They didn't do, a lot of other shows didn't do that. They give you a Black person here and there. General Hospital, we'll get to that in a second. They had the wards for a while. Mary May was that's my girl, Rosalind Cash.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that in a second. But we saw a Black man who was in a business suit. Mm-hmm. And I remember him telling me this. He said when he got his own office, he was probably one of the first Black folks to have an office on daytime. And we're not sure, so don't come out with receipts, but we think he was one of the first ones or about the first one. But he said when he got an office, when he got a set, he knew it was serious. When he got a set, he knew it was like, oh, they're investing in me. And I'm Black. They're investing in me. And then they brought on Shamar Moore, who was the opposite of him. So he showed, like you said, the two sides. Mm-hmm. I remember what you said when she came on, the illiterate Black girl at first. When she first came on, that's how she was. Then they gave her actually meaty material. They saw that when she had the Ed factor. Drusilla just returned around the Ed factor. Then she was able to morph and change where she could be street on one side, but she was also a lady of the world on the other. And she was a strong woman, Black woman on that show. So it's like, there's lots of it happened. So you're right. Young Restless did give us a lot of firsts and positive Black portrayals. They did. So they need to do better now. I think they can do a little better now. I'm going to say next. We can talk for 10 hours on these things. So I'm going to say next soap opera that I actually think gives us a somewhat of variety of Black folks. And that's Days of Our Lives.
Yes. Days of Our Lives. Now, folks, when I met Raven Bowen, so I love, she's just the best. And I said, girl, you're like the first Black woman I've seen on TV that's able to be sexual. Yes.
You are actually, because you're like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm all this and all that. And you're like, okay. It's just kind of like, It's very interesting. And, and my man, 42 years on the show, and Best Actor Emmy winner, James Lott. You may not watch Days of Our Lives, but you know the man with that mustache. You know who Abe is. Mm-hmm. You've done it forever. And now they added Paulina, and they added all this. So I say, I'm thinking, we're getting some different, they have different races on there, little different races on. They have Asian, they have Gabby Hernandez, and all them. So what do you think about? What do you think about Days of Our Lives? What do you think about them?
Days of Our Lives is my number one soap. I've always said it. It's my number one soap, and it's funny how I grew up ABC. I knew of all the soaps from reading Soap Opera Digest, Soap Opera Weekly, Soap Opera Update in the TV. Oh, the TV guy was the jam back in the day. And here in New York, the Daily News, they had a Sunday supplement of what happened during the week. So I would read that every week when I wasn't able to watch the soaps because I was in school. So I would just go to the entertainment section on Sunday and read what happened. And Days of Our Lives back then, I would have never thought all of them Black folks would have been on there ever, because it was never an urban soap. Yeah, there have been Black people on every now and then. I mean, Abe Carver is the longest running Black soap opera character on television. I mean, they try to give the credit to Ice-T, but James Reynolds has been on TV way before Ice-T. I don't know why people they like to shit on daytime TV. But daytime TV has made careers for these primetime people. I mean, that's another discussion there. But I love Days of Our Lives. I love Abe's laughter when he's on there with Paulina. I love their laughter. I love Jackie. Oh, you gotta love Jackie. I love Jackie since I was a little boy. Even when she was on Another World, she was on Another World People. Lily Mason, the hoe. She was a hoe. She said it on Another World reunions. special that they had on SoapNet, she was a hoe. Lily, not Jackie, because I don't want y'all to say, oh, Donald people said Jackie was a hoe. No, because every time I say something, everything I say is misconstrued. No, Lily Mason was a hoe who cleaned up her act to help to cope to raise her biological niece Thomasina, who was raised by Quinn Harding. But I love Jackie, of course, from Sandra Clark, Mary. But I love them. I love to see Abe and Paulina as an older black couple, who still have it. I love Chanel. Chanel is sexually fluid. I love Raven Bowen. She looks so much like Locke Voorhees, another soap opera alum. And I'm loving Jada. I'm loving Jada. The only thing with Jada, I think the issue I got with Jada is Jada's daddy, Marcus, was Steve's homeboy. So I wish Jada would have been more in the Steve, Kayla, Stephanie, and Joey orbit, not with the Eric and Nicole orbit. I just think I want to know more about Jada. I want to know who her mother is. I want to know if her mother is Gail Carson or is she Faith Taylor. I want to know who are Jada and Talia's mother or mothers. And with Talia, I think I know why she's doing them drugged up biscuits. I think she's working with Vivian. I think she's working with Vivian because Vivian's in prison because of Lonnie. Paulina and Chanel are related to Lonnie. So I'm thinking because the soap wants us to think it's Sloan. It's not Sloan.
First of all, this is not a Days of Our Lives recap show. Back to the race stuff. The race stuff.
Yeah. No, it is about the the thing about it is the race, and the thing, the thing about it is with the thing with Talia. I love the fact that Talia is there. She's being a villainous because people have a hard time seeing black people being evil.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yes. And
because I used to feel a certain way too, because of the ugly histories we have went through in this country. But with everything else in real life, you have people who are good, bad, and ugly. So I'm now saying to myself, Donald, people come in all different type of varieties. And not all people are angelic, and not all people are devilish. People are a blend of.
You know what it is, Donald. It's because we don't have enough representation.
Yeah.
All we get is bad. Then people are like, again, it goes back to your friend who I was on here who said we need a balance. It's like, because remember, Paulina came on, she was kind of a villain on something. Like she wanted to turn Horton Town Square. First, I was like, the black person would turn the Horton Town Square and stuff bad. But I thought, but they gave her money. So I kind of like, has money. We need that. Come on, folks. Homegirl, who's in the history books, Miss Diane Carroll, may she rest in peace.
Yes.
I won't be the first black bitch on television.
Yes. Yep.
Because it is more, as she said, you can find it, she'll tell you, she said, don't write me as a black woman, write me as a man. And I'll back it up. And that to me was like, that's so smart. Like, what are you gonna pull out for us? I'm like, I love it. There it is.
From the library.
From the library. See, and that's the thing. She wanted to play a villainess. She wanted to play because that is when you're the bad girl, that's a meaty role.
Yeah.
But you and I both know, maybe tell you know, if you don't have enough representation, you're thinking the black person is the villain. Like you go that direction. But I'm glad you're able to say, okay, yes, it's burned. I know the champagne. The champagne's burned. Yes. But that was I know. They said it in the chat room. But I'm saying, but that's kind of the point. I know what hi, Dolomitics. I know that what Donald's saying is at first the black ones you kind of go, huh, but you have to look at the soap picture of it and go, well, this could make her go many directions. The good girls can go many directions. So that's why I like it. Anyway, so I'm glad you said it, because I just want to make sure everybody knows. Diane Carroll she wrote to me and said, I want to be a villain. Not a good girl, not the pristine and proper. She can play that, different worlds. She did this Willie's mother,
Yeah.
Julia, all that stuff. I'm saying, but she wanted to play the bad girl, and I thought, yes, and Paulina's a little shady. She got a little mask and stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. So that's good. But I understand what you mean. So I understand what you mean. It's like we as Black folks or people of color, we have to kind of loosen up a little bit too. And go, okay, is this good for the soap? Is this good for us? Or is it a tokenism thing? Is it they're making the Black person bad? There you go. Because I actually liked her little ex-husband. I would say TR, whatever his name was.
Oh,
boy was
I did too.
He was good. I did too. I'm like, but why not? We should be able to see that portrayal. Abe's the good guy, so we have that arc. And you guys, what is his name? Was it TV, whatever it's called? TR. That we're gonna see a bad guy, but actually, he used to be Derek on All My Children.
Yes,
but he was a good actor. It's like I actually like him, so I was kind of seeing what was going on there. So, but anyway, so that's just kind of. And Days also gave us. Well, I'll ask you this question too, Donald. Days kind of gave us a Black super couple, so to speak. If super couples still exist with Ilani.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So do you believe can we have super couples still? Is that still a thing?
I don't think super couple. I don't think the term applies anymore. Unfortunately, in 2023, in the 80s and the 90s, but it's like now. I guess maybe it's because Ford soaps are left. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm. People say no, they can't be. There's no super couple anymore. So I mean, I don't know. But the couple that had a good following was Ilani, great couple, played by Lamone Archie. We love him, and Sal Stowers, and they were beautiful together. And they had beautiful babies, and the whole thing. So that was cute.
Those babies,
they were very cute. So I mean, but that's how. Then you have Gabby Hernandez, who's lead storyline. She's a front burner storyline person who's allowed to be Latina. And they had her with an Asian guy. They had her also like, wow, that's very interesting.
And I love Days for the fact, and I love the fact that Jamie Gittens is the ride over there. And it's like, I love the ambitions. I'm still pissy about OWN, but that's another. Yes. Yeah, I'm salty about that because it's like, really? I mean, Ambitions was hot. It was popping on OWN, and to have Jamie over there, and also with Jasmine Darnell Brown and Darnell Anthony, he was over there for a little bit too, and the Cheryl Davis, and I'm like, what? These 3 or 4 Black writers at the same time in the writers' room, and I'd like to have that on Days, and just to have all of these popular culture things, and you got to know. References and then to have a show that had LGBT people on it, and it's great to see Greg Reichardt playing who I think, I'm not gonna say who he is. I don't know him off screen, but he's having fun. And I could just imagine, what if Kevin was able to come out on the Young and the Restless? How would that have been? But the fact he's playing Leo, Lady Whistleblower. He is funny, though. I love Dave. Oh, Melinda is funny. I didn't know how funny Melinda was, because I was tweeting Tina with her sister girl.
Yes, she's good.
Yeah, with her sister girl neck twirls and all that stuff. But she was funny this past week. I love Days. I really love Days. Days is the soap that I look forward to. Like that's the top.
Okay. Some comments in here. Ebony is in here. Sorry, Ebony. I'm not Ebony.
Ebony.
She says, I wish they'd drawn the story out with TR, Paulina, and Lonnie more. Me too. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Angela says super couples do exist. Jason Jose says something that's very interesting. When they made Lexi and Demira, there was a shift. I completely agree.
Yes.
And Cherie says, Donald Peebles, all happy. People are happy you're here, so happy you're here. They gave Lexi more, Alexandria, of course, more depth. But she was evil Lexi for what? That red dress thing?
Yes.
Ilani were allowed to have Horton Legacy twins. That's true. That was very true also. Everybody's like welcoming you to the show. We have 21 people watching, so thank you on a Soap Sunday.
Wow.
How many? 21 because of you.
21?
21.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
I know. So, folks, hit the like button for me. It helps me get stuff. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, welcome to subscribe to my channel. I have all kinds of soap content on here. So subscribe too at the same time. I'd love to have you. So make sure I say that. But yes, it's funny. Days of Our Lives. We get that. Yeah, Days of Our Lives had an issue because it went to streaming now. Days is the only one that's on streaming, and I think it's very smart because remember, Days was always being canceled. About to be canceled every year. NBC was done with it. It was done with it.
Yeah.
So are you liking and just in general? Yes, Celeste, because our girl. Are you liking that it's on streaming now? Do you like it better or same, or are you liking it?
To me, it's still the same. I mean, streaming, they can do a lot more than they could do on daytime, especially with that threesome. NBC was not going to do that with Alex, Abby, Allie and Chanel.
Yeah.
I was gagging. I was gagging when that happened. And everything, but to me, I love it. I love the fact that it comes on at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'm always watching it. I'm always catching up with the week. Like I want to start getting up at 6 o'clock watching it. But to me, I don't see what the problem is. I mean, we were watching it for free. I get that. It's $4.95 a month. I mean, you pay more with Hulu and Netflix anyway. That's a whole another topic. But it's just like I think people just wanted an excuse just to complain. But they should be happy that all them naysayers, it was renewed for 2 years. So I said a lot. They eating humble pie now. But I love Days. Like I love it. It's entertaining it's entertaining to me, and I'm still wondering. I'm wondering if Talia is going to seduce Chanel, because I would love to see a Black lesbian storyline on Days.
Me too. They're getting close, and actually with the way they're doing it, I'm really surprised. I would not be surprised if they did. I think they might. It sounds like they're going there. It feels like they're going there.
Because Chanel when she met Talia, she was looking open, and when Talia said, I was in New York, I was like, I wonder what you was doing in New York. I wonder was you in the village? Well, the village is dead, but yeah, no, the village is dead. Christopher Street's dead. Another conversation, another day.
That's a shame. Yes.
Well, yeah,
they are. Yeah, I feel the writers making a saying Talia and Chanel are going to do a thing, but they made a switch and bait. Well, I don't know. It still could happen. You never know. Yes, long before he's played Wendy on Days. He mentioned it a little earlier. He was saying a little earlier. Yes, Wendy on Days. Yes, it's it's funny. I just think that Days actually has all these different things going on there. It's so good. I think they brought people like Loretta Devine came on for Beyonce.
Yes.
And of course, my chocolate twin Tony Moore played Terrence in Salem, which was a lifelong dream of his.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it happened for him also. They get to do that. And he's in the Emmy trailer or something. Some kind of he's in it. So I was like, ready for that. But they have the Black folks on there at least. They're doing stuff with them. So I mean, it's you really can't count back. So I get to the next show. And this one is The Bold and the Beautiful. Now, I have several things to say, and I'm very curious, Donna, what you think of. Number one, I have a lot of friends over there, and Lawrence St. Victor is one of the writers on there also. He's a writer. He's one of my biggest supporters. Love Lawrence. If you see this, Lawrence, we love you and stuff. My biggest complaint is, I've said it so many times on my shows, it's a show about fashion in Los Angeles. It's not a gay person in sight.
Right.
I'm still waiting for my walk-on role, too. Casey Castellaneta, I'm still waiting for my role. You promised me. I'm ready to go on it. I can play a gay designer or something. Whatever you want to tell me, I'll play it. Yeah, there's none. Anyway, the Avant family, which many of you guys mentioned earlier in the chat, we had Oba Babatunde, who is a legend, a stage of screen. We had Anna Maria Horsford, a legend of stage and screen and TV. And all the girls. I mean, and then and the guy, the Avants were the bomb. I love the
Yes,
Avants.
they
I
were.
was so happy when they did that. They got rid of them.
I am
How do you feel?
so,
I want you to start with that. How do you feel about that whole situation?
you know what? I'm still fumed up to this day. The Avants made it must see TV because I was watching that Bold and it got hot. Once Nicole called Maya Myron. It was on a Friday, and I'm looking on Twitter. I was like, "What?"
I know.
That came out completely left. Um, but and I loved Carla Mosley for that because Carla Mosley did her homework. Carla Mosley went and interviewed Janet Mock and other Black trans women, and they had Isis King on there, and I believe Carmen Carrera on there as guest.
Well, also her co-star was my buddy Turner Sofield,
yes.
who was there also, and
yes. And when they had the California Dreams fashion show, and Maya was doing it, and I loved all of that. And even when I was looking in the Soap Opera Digest issues, it looked like when Oba and Anna Maria came onto the join the cast, that they were welcomed. They were welcomed as part of the cast because I had spoke to Anna Maria, and I told her the picture with her.
Hold on one second. Coach Chandra is finally here. She didn't get this show is because of you, girl, because you were online and said that me and Dallas get together. We've been on for 66 minutes, girlfriend. You're going to have to go back and watch the first part of it. I had to stop for a second because that's our girl who won it. Donald came to me and said, Chandra wants it. Whoever Chandra wants, she gets. So we're glad you're here now. We did Y&R. We did oh my God, we did Save Our Lives. Right now we're on Bold and Beautiful. So we'll get to your hospital, which is your show. Anyway, but please go ahead. I'm sorry. Make sure we get our girl in here. Please go ahead.
I was going to say when I was telling Anna Maria about the picture with her and Oprah and Allie Mills and the late Olsen Bean, when Olsen Bean had his one-man show, and the way how they were laughing in the photo and the pictures with Captain Kelly Lang and Oprah, they look like they were welcome to the cast, and I love that, and it was just so much of a layer. I mean, I really wanted Vivian to get with Eric. I don't think, of course, that didn't happen, but I mean, it would have made sense. I mean, their children were married to each other in a soapy fashion. That would have made sense, for Vivian to maybe do a clothing line. All these different. I'm a writer. I'm a creative, so we have all you are too. We have all of these story scenarios. And then all of a sudden they were gone, and Sasha came up in there. But one thing, I know she was going to be the daughter. You know how I knew? Because when Soap Opera Digest, they did a leak. They leaked it. Actually, I don't know if people paid attention to it, but when they had the family photo, Sasha was in that family photo, and it was way before it was revealed that she was Julius's outside child. So Soap Opera Digest leaked that. They didn't say, it wasn't confirmed yet. And I paid that attention. Like, why is she in the family photo if she's just the friend? I was like, Soap Opera Digest, you kind of leaked it out a little bit, but Sasha, she was doing Felicia Cooper. She was throwing it up in there like, I loved how she came in there in that short dress, and she was confronting Julius, and then I think it was on a Friday, Daddy. I was like, but I already knew she was going to be the daughter because Soap Opera Digest had that leak. It was leaked, but and it was just a whole lot of stuff going on. Sasha was bringing it. She got with Thomas. And so, I was thinking that there was going to be a lot with Thomas. Thomas loves the sisters.
He does.
He loved the sisters all the way from, he loved women of color all the way from Caitlyn.
I know.
Caitlyn, Gabriella, Dave.
Yep. They did.
So the fact that people find it weird with him in Paris, it's not weird because Thomas always had feelings for women of color. So
Yep.
it's not strange, And with Paris, the writers just got to give Paris more to do. It's been all this stuff on Paris about her appearance, her hair colors, her different things, and I'm like, yo.
Okay, I gotta jump in.
Uh-oh.
As you know, I interviewed Diamond Whites, and I've become friends with her, and I forgot, I didn't realize how young she is. She's in her early 20s, and I realized she was that young. And on my show, we talked about her hair.
Yeah.
Because she was getting attacked for it.
Yeah.
And we had a really good comment. People were praising us because I love my Black women. I will always hold you down. Always. I will always hold you. I got your backs, you guys. And I said, let's talk about it. And that Black women change their hair. It's like accessories. Change their hair all the time. We can color our hair wherever we want to. We can have floor length one day and your size, they're done. I mean, whatever the fuck we want. But that it was such a big deal compared to all the other women on the show. We knew it was race related. It was clearly race related. It was clearly race related. And it goes back to all of us who, I mean, for me, I've had jobs where I was like, James, you can't have that hairstyle. You can't have locks. It means it's dirty. It means you're not professional. And like, we're still fighting. We're still fighting it. We're still fighting how we look to show if we're professional or not. So we had a great conversation. You can say interview. It's a great interview. We talked, but I said, it's about your hair, girl. I didn't want to. I said, we have to. She goes, yeah, we have to. We had a really thoughtful conversation about it. And people were just like, yeah, I'm like, the whole person was, so that whole Buckingham family, because it was Wayne Brady was her father, homegirl was the sister. Yes, she's on Fancy Island now, big time. She's doing big time, whatever. I'm happy for her, whatever. But it's like, again, there's another chance to have another Black family. They didn't do it. A Black family of villains. I thought that's something different.
Yeah.
And I have a problem because I have two problems. It's related to her and all stuff. Poor Zende. Now, first of all, here's why I pull up my colorism issue. Zende was a dark-skinned Black boy from Africa when he was a kid. Now, when he got a little older, Rome was darker than Delon. Now, they're all fine. First of all, these men are all fine. But Rome was more medium brown. I can go there. I can go with that. But and even Texas Battery played Marcus was darker. But then you get Delon, who's great. I mean, he's hot. He's great. But he's so light skinned. I'm like, I mentioned that a couple of years ago. People got mad at me. And I was like, no. I'm like, color to me does make a difference. Even in casting, it does.
Oh yes.
But yes, we got our chocolatey goodness with Carter, with Lawrence. We got our chocolatey goodness there. That's fine. But we can't have two dark-skinned Black men on the same show. We can't. I don't understand. I don't understand that. And they're finally doing something with them with this whole hope for the future shit or whatever. But again, he's hot, and all these women are dropping them for other men. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's your optics thing. So how do you feel about that? All that? How do you feel about all that?
It's amazing to me when I'm watching After Work of how he got models up in his face. Petra, Sequoia.
Yeah, Sequoia.
They threw themselves at him. And I'm like, and you passing them up and they dumping them for other people.
Right.
Like when Paris dumped him to get with Carter, and I was like,
I didn't like that pairing. I did not like that pairing at all.
No, I didn't like it. I would have rather have him with Grace, Cassandra Creech.
Oh, see, I was hoping something would go. I was like, I was hoping something was gonna happen with her and one of them. I was waiting. But nothing happened. It's like
that's a missed opportunity. And Cassandra Creech and Grace and Carter, that would have been hot.
I know. But I have to say this, and I do want to know your feeling about this. I have to say this. I did love Carter. I did. It was one of the few just relationships, period.
Yeah.
They were hot together. Rena Sofer and him really did build something.
Yeah.
It went sideways when Eric found out and then was hiring him to sleep with her. That's when that Dingo thing came out.
Yeah.
That was lower. So I was curious how you felt. I did feel like, oh, that's a little weird.
Yeah, no, I was very vocal about that on Twitter. I was like, this is some slavery shit here. Because that happened. That happened during slavery time. You know, it's like white people telling black people how to have sex and how to do. Because I was having a conversation with my friend Eric. He's in here. We were talking about the fact that black marriages were not even legal during slavery. In 1865, black people were all through the South looking for their separated spouses and their children because families were broken up during slavery. You know, and the fact of how the media has issues with two black people coming together, getting together, having love, making love, having sex. And it's like, what? You know, but the fact that Eric was ordering Carter to go and seduce his wife, I was like, that's some slavery optic stuff.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I was like, what? I was like, oh, hell no.
What was so great about that storyline that was good was Eric's part where he was feeling like he couldn't get it up, you know, and how he felt lonely. And I was like, that part was really wonderful, showing a man of a certain age going through something. But it was tied to this. I was like, it was a little
it was cringe.
Because Quarter had chemistry.
Yeah.
But once they did that, it was like, dude, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the writers were thinking Mandingo, but I think they were just thinking storyline. Well, let's do it this way, make it funny. But it will shock people. I think they were trying to want to shock us because now Eric knows. But they didn't. The optics were, and black folks caught it, and that's the problem. That no one in the writers' room caught it. And no one said, you know what, that might look bad. You know, like some of the writers just said, you know what, that's a little Mandingo-ish. I mean, like maybe we shouldn't do that. Like, and they didn't do that. So that happened, of course, and the whole thing got killed, basically. It all just got died. And now Carter's with Katie.
And that thing just reminded me of those horns with the cockles and black and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Pornhub. I know people probably looking at me like, oh my God, he knows that stuff? No, because in real life, I'm telling you, Rachel and Eric, they know, because in real life, people, they think I'm innocent.
Look at you call people's names out too. You're like, yeah, Rachel, you know what's going on too. She's like, don't say my name. Like,
you know, and it's like, it just, because I was wondering if the writers were looking at black, looking for that one plot though, because
I know, but my thing, I know what you're saying, but my thing is, I think they were thinking this could be shocking if Eric is in on it. And see, if it was three white characters, we would look bad. But see, they missed that it was a black character in there.
Yeah.
And but I'm sorry, kids, though. And Lawrence is my friend, but he know this. He can get it every day. Lawrence St. Victor is hot as F.
Oh yeah.
He has like 10 abs.
Yeah.
Like 10 abs. But he works out all the time. But he has a beautiful wife and son, and he's all that. But he's hot as F. Hot.
And I would love to see Carter's background. I think he's been on 10 years. I want to know what's his background like. Who his people are. You know what? I want some Haitians to come up on there.
I know. Hello. I know.
I want some Haitians to come on there. He's of Haitian descent.
Yes. Well, here's what's funny. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because a nice surprise, and I met her in person, interviewed her, she's lovely. Naomi Matsuda, who plays Dr. Lee Finnegan. She's the bomb. And she's Asian. We're like, wait a minute, Finn's adopted mother is Asian?
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. They never made a big deal about it. She is. But I gotta tell you something, when she was like, let Sheila die. Come on, let her die. I was like, girl.
That was funny.
I loved it. She's like, let her die. She looked at Stephanie, Stephanie, do something. And I was like, I can't. I'm a good guy. I can't. And she's like, no one will care. Just let her go. I'm like, oh, I love Lee more than life. I love her more. And I realized she's just a lovely person. But that character's like, she's Asian. So to do your things, we're both writers. Here we go. One of her relatives, a nephew, or somebody comes to town, or a niece.
That
Why
would be
not?
great.
Why not? I mean, there's Asians all over Los Angeles. Hello, I live in LA. There's Asians everywhere.
Right.
Like what? But like a cousin or a niece or a nephew or something come to town, and there you go.
That would be great.
I'm in. And Ebony, you're correct. That's why a diverse writer, because I think, I say this all the time, for all the soaps, there should be more women in the writer's room. This was a women's medium. Yes, it's for everybody, but they're writing things in ways that are very archaic. So we need more women, we need people of color, we need people of different sexual orientations and backgrounds, because that will make for a better soap opera. And I mean, I think, it's funny. I said I go to prime time and stuff, and I go to like Shonda Rhimes stuff or Dick Wolf stuff. It's very diverse, kids.
Yeah,
it's very and all those 911 shows. It's very diverse. And I was like, and I'll give to Shonda started first. Shonda was doing it first, and she did that. And but we have Shonda on this side, and we have Tyler Perry on this side. Who does a lot of black stuff. Like, we're getting it, and prime time and streaming. Why are we not getting it in daytime? That's the problem. Why are we not getting it in daytime? That's what we need. So, but I like that Lee was just like, she's Asian. It's not made a big deal, and she's there. So I mean, that's something. I guess that's something. So
yeah, I love that also.
Yes, we love Michelle Valjean. I love her. So yes.
Yes. I want to talk to her.
You should. You should. Yes.
I love her because I love her because when she has her annual party, like when she's at the anniversary parties, and when she has her own parties too, and I'm like, wow, like she is so beloved. She is so loved.
Yes, she is. I love her. And I love her pieces too. I love her. So yes, but anyway, so there should be some more females. That's my thing. So that's bold. But there's enough about bold. Let's go on to the last one, and that's General Hospital. Or they call it Black Hospital.
Yeah, Black Hospital.
I will say this. To me, I've been saying this every day. It's a bloated cast. There's too many people.
Yeah.
But there's some great stuff. There's some black folks on there. You cannot say, and my girl Selena Wu, we love our Selena Wu girl. She's on there. Lydia Look is the bomb. Black folks first. So on that one, we're getting black love in the adult part. I got in trouble for saying this, and okay, I love my Sweden Nation. I love you guys. That's great and wonderful. But back when Rory was around or whatever, I just said, would it be interesting if they just add a young black man into the mix? Not saying she's all from or anything, but just like, I got such backlash. I'm like, well, why am I getting backlash? I go, we haven't had black love since like fucking Angie and Jesse and shit. It's like, why can't there be more black folks on the canvas on General Hospital for younger set? Why is it treated as the only black person in the younger set? So I had some problems with that. So we'll start there. So, yes, and rest in peace, my friend Sonia Eddy.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yes, but let's start. Let's start with, because I know the Sweden Nation, the black women. It's beautiful to see that they have come together to support a black actress on their soap opera, and ABC hears them. I was there when that plane flew over, so I was there. But I'm telling you, we had never seen anything like this before. We've never seen anything like this before. And first Sydney Michaela, who's wonderful, I got to meet her.
Yeah.
And now Tabiana are getting that. And Nicholas Chavez actually is Latino in real life, but whatever. But this coupling, I see why they're so into them. And a lot of it's because of her, especially. They really want to make sure that she gets equal opportunity as my girl. And I love, even Corey's my girl too. That's my girl. I know her family. We're close. They want equal opportunity. And I get it. And so they are supported. They are putting billboards. They're flying planes.
Yeah.
They're doing all kinds of stuff. So and they're supporting. So I want to say that that General Hospital has always had black characters around. I said back in the day we had the Wards, Mary May and Justice and all them. They were Quartermain adjacent. and all that, Bradley and all that. They're just, yeah, Brian and Claudia a long time ago, Tom and Simone a long time ago, which is my thumbnail. If you see the thumbnail, it's Tom and Simone with Laura Carrington, who's also in the whole video for Lionel Richie. But like, so I want to hear what you're, yeah. So let's start with this Sprina thing. Let's start there and tell me kind of what your thoughts are.
I love the fandoms of these Black girls and women. I've been on a lot of their Twitter spaces, and they're making a lot of sense. You know, I'm good. I'm close to Ashley. If Ashley's looking, I love Ashley. These women are very courageous because General Hospital has been given notice that, okay, no, y'all got to put them on front burner. And I love it. I do love it. I feel that it's revolutionary because of the fact that we didn't often get dark-skinned actresses in leading roles like that. Tabyana Ali is a role model for not only for Black women, but dark-skinned Black women as well, because colorism is one of them topics a lot of us do not want to talk about. A lot of us will deny it, that it exists. It's a figment of our imagination, because what happens with colorism as well as the other, I say, isms and issues, bring up a lot of collective pain. Families have been impacted, social circles, by colorism. Who gets the jobs, who gets the housing, who gets married, who gets into these sororities and the fraternities. But colorism, even in the casting directors, who gets onto these shows, who gets the certain roles. So for Tabyana Ali to be this young, dark-skinned African-American actress in a front burner role is very innovative, very revolutionary.
I want to piggyback off what you just said just now, because everything you said I agree with completely, and it's and I was there at the thing, and I was talking to her mother, and for her mom, and I almost cried because she was like, because for her, she said, seeing my daughter's specifically spelled name that's not common flying around Los Angeles, because Nicholas made a joke of, but Nicholas is, everybody is Nicholas. Flying around, it warmed her. She never thought that would ever happen, ever. And so, and Tony was there with me, Tony Moore, and we were saying, it was watching Tabyana's reaction to seeing it. It was like, that's what warmed my heart. That's what made me go, you know what? Fuck everybody else. I'm into now. I'm fucking in. I'm in. And I thought I said, and General Hospital, they came out. They interviewed me, took pictures, they posted I was on their front page, everything. They took notice, and you see what happened. They're on the cover of the 60th magazine. They're on this over here.
Oh, yes.
They're on there. They're in an adventure of a storyline right now. Like, they really are doing it. And I think so the support of Sprina, that is something to behold. And I think dark skin, and this was one of the few times, because Sydney's medium brown, I was okay with this. I was like, that's fine. But there was other situations on there, another situation I really, really loved. I'm just going to move around for a second because we have all these Black folks on the show.
Yeah.
I hated Marshall's storyline. Hated it from the beginning. Hated the way they brought him on. Once they kind of shed that and had him strictly be Marshall, dating Epiphany, being a grandfather to Trina, being a father to Curtis. I'll tell you something. I don't have a father. My stepfather passed away just a few months ago, and my father's not my life. When I saw Curtis start to cry when his father was playing that clarinet on stage at the wedding, you never see intergenerational Black men.
No.
Maybe This Is Us. They had that. They had them. They're them. Nowhere else.
No.
I was sobbing like a goddamn baby. So I was like, it was such beautiful work between Donnell Turner and Homeboy. They were just beautiful work. We never see that. The fact that they actually casted Portia's brother and father.
Oh yeah.
Dark-skinned Gavin Houston and on there. Wow, they're investing. And in the background, if you guys notice this, in the background, there's a lot of Black folks in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, so now, please comment on that if you'd like to comment on that.
With Trina, I'm loving Sabrina. Because I know there were some people. Because I'm kind of like that. Like, why can't they have a young Black man part of the teen scene too? But I don't know. It just seems like some of us don't want to see us to get together. And it's like that's what bothers me the most. Is like, what's wrong with us getting together? But you know what? I believe that a lot of us have had negative interactions with each other.
Yeah.
Stuff happened in families. Stuff happened in relationships. I've seen stuff. I've lived in rooming houses. I've seen how some men treated Black women. So there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of on both sides.
Yeah,
both sides. I remember I worked at a job years ago. There was a Black woman who I was trying to be friends with. She did not like Black men.
I know. I've run
across she didn't like Black men, and I asked her what was it about Black men that she didn't like, and she accused Indy Iree's brown skin as being racist. So she was just one of these young Black women. She wanted to be a cop. So she was one of these Black women. I don't know what her story was, but you do have a lot of young Black men and women who don't like each other for whatever.
Well, you know, I always say this, Donald. I just want to interject because this is. I'm glad you're bringing this up. I always say this, and my fans know this. I say I always hold down my Black women because I think Black men, in general, we don't hold down our women enough.
Yeah, no.
Black women will hold down for Black men unconditionally.
Yeah.
They're our mothers. They're our grandmothers. They're our aunties. And we don't know. And we will, as men, because it's hard for us to, it's hard for Black women and it's hard for Black men. It's hard for both of us. And somehow we're not coming together like we should. And because we could help each other out against the world, right?
Yeah.
I know with Black men, a lot of times we feel, okay, we got a little more fame. So now you go with the white girl, you go this way. And they're sitting going, what about us?
Yeah.
Why aren't we enough for you?
Yeah.
Why don't you see us as status? My father did to my mother. Went from her to light skin to white women. That was it. Once he got more success. And yes, again, I understand interracial. I totally get it. I have no problem with saying that. I understand where a lot of pain that Black women must have. So I'm always saying I'm going to try to hold down my Black women as much as I can, lift them up, let them know they're beautiful and smart, and also acknowledge that they have a lot of pain also. And so you're right. It totally goes into fandoms. It totally goes on screen. So I just want to say I agree. I'm glad you're bringing that up.
Because I noticed that even in some of those spaces, I've seen some of them women going after the Black men for saying certain things.
Yep.
I've seen it. I don't remember the name, but I've seen it, and I'm like, ooh, like certain rooms I will go into, certain ones I just like, no, I'm not going to do that because it's like it's supposed to be a safe space for the fandoms. But a lot of times when you're on social media, and you and I know, you tweet, you put something down, you're accused of stuff. I remember I was congratulating Sydney for leaving the show to go on to college.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I was saying that I would rather her go to do her education than going down the Hollywood stuff. I got accused of that. People are like, what are you talking about? She would never do something like that. I'm like, okay, read my stuff. I'm congratulating her for going to college.
Let the Black girl go to school and get education.
Right. Let the Black girl go to school. But they got angered for the fact that she left. She was leaving.
I know.
And I think, and I'm gonna say this, and I just think also, and I've been saying that. I told Ashley this. I said what happened was some of these young women. I don't think a lot of them were even born when Jason Morgan dissed Keisha. That's where a lot of the hurt comes from. The fact that Keisha Ward, when Jason Quartermain became Jason Morgan, he dumped her to get with Carly and Robin. So that rejection right there, and I said that. I think a lot of people looked at me like I was a crackpot. I have a gift of discernment. I've had that gift since I was a little boy. So when I can tell certain energies, that's where the hurt is. So they want to make sure Trina is not going to go through what what
yeah.
Sinead went through as Keisha.
Yeah, I know I get it. That's Donald. That's very true. I will add, and I will. Everybody's like agreeing with you. Right? I also agree that Sydney was well liked. So
Yeah.
yes, you don't want your friends to go. But when I met her at the Emmys, I said when she was nominated for an Emmy for her role, I said to her, I said, "Girl, I want to congratulate you." I said, "I know you got a lot of grief for it, but Brooke Shields went to college, stopped for a while. Jodie Foster went to like this acting shit will be there for you.
Right.
It will be there for you." Bye, Coach Sean. She has to leave. You have to leave now. Well, you just came in here. But we'll see you later. Watch the whole thing, Chandra. It's for you. Watch the whole thing. But no, I just it was like I told her, I just got to tell her, I said, "Girl, good for you, because you're securing your future and you're trying to do something different." And see, folks are like, well, Eden McCoy is doing both. You can't compare people's lives and what they're doing. There's no reason to compare. If she wants to focus on school, let the girl focus on school. Like, hello, 4 or 5 years ago by fast. She'll be back. Young. And she's doing that. She thinks she's doing also voiceover stuff here and there. So she's fine. Girl's fine. But it's like people were, trust me, like you, Donald, I got attacked. I was like, no, I loved her as an actress. I loved her on the show. But like,
I had to take off that. I had to erase that tweet because they acted as if I was going to say she was going to go out there, like she was going to go out there and find a street corner. Then that's not what I was saying. I was saying that I'm glad she's going the college route so that she don't go into Hollywood and get caught up in a lot of the nasty stuff that's in Hollywood. But people misconstrue everything. People been misconstruing stuff I've been saying since I was a little boy, because I remember my grandmother would tell me, "Don Jr., you don't know what you're talking about." And like I would tell her certain things. I'm like, "Grandma, this is that," because I have the gift of discernment. I can sense when something isn't right. So I used to tell my grandma, "Don Jr., no, you don't know what you're talking about." And come to find out what I was trying to tell her ended up to be true.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I see things and.
Well, here's the thing, Donald, and maybe you agree with this or not, and people in the chat room, I view everything through several lenses. And one of the lenses is a Black person lens. I can't help it. I just can't. I see things through a queer lens. I see things through an older person lens. I see things through a Los Angeles. I mean, I also see things through the business. I'm in the business, so I see through that lens. So I think you and I both understand that we do see it through a Black lens. We just do.
Yeah.
We watch anything. So that's there. So we're more sensitive and we can pick up on things that others who aren't that may not pick up on. And not saying that we're always right or we're always the one. I'm the voice of Black America, not at all. I just not at all. I don't want to be. I just tell people what I see and I share it. And if you agree with me, great. If you don't, great also. But there are things I see, and again, there's things that I know that I share. And that's you do the same thing. That's what it is. And so folks, I mean, like I said, I don't do much on Twitter anymore because people got my nerves. But I just post little things here and there. But seriously, I think I understand you get to a character, you like the character, you like that actor. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But life has to go on. I do have to mention also on General Hospital, it was hard for me, the writing. Portia had that secret for so long. So it's hard for me to get behind her and Curtis.
Yeah.
But yet the wedding was so beautiful and they did such a great job, like I said, with behind the scenes and everybody was Black. It was like, dang. I was so like, but I'm not invested in it because the secret is there and I'm glad it came out. But it's like, and then Taggart's not there enough. And it's like, you should be there a little more.
Yeah. I got an issue with that.
And on Stella. She should have been there pulling her Bible out. I know she does Bob Hart's Harper Show, and I know she does that show too, whatever. But I'm sure she's available for some stuff. I mean, it's just like, but anyway, please go ahead.
It's like with, I was getting sick of Portia after a while. It's like, Portia, girl, you are a liar. Like, she was just good with them lies, because it's like when people lie for so long, they believe the lies and all that stuff. I'm like, and Jordan was so on her. Jordan was funny. The thing with Jordan is, Jordan, I'm going to say it. I'm 46 years old, so I'm going to say this. Jordan needs dick.
Oh my God, Tanisha Harper. I saw her at the Emmys. Hot as fuck.
Yeah.
It's hot. And I watch her on the show going, there should be men falling at her feet. They should on General Hospital. There should be men, Finn, all this, falling at her feet. She's that. I mean, when her and Curtis almost kissed,
yeah,
I was like, it was hot. I was like, Curtis, there's all these other men over here.
Right.
Why aren't they talking to you? Like, hello.
Yes, I really want her with Detective Bennett, Kendrick Cross. That's what I want her with. Either him or Axel.
Oh, Axel, yes, Axel. Well, here's what's funny. I forget. Well, see, here's my colorist issue too, because she's more the coloring of the original one, My Girlfriend That's Antoine. Because when Brianna Henry came on, I liked her, but I'm like, they matched the hair, but the coloring is very light skin. So I'm kind of glad they went back to dark again. But I always forget. I mean, I know black don't crack, but folks, I want her and TJ together. I'm like, but they're mother and son. I keep going, oh yeah, they're mother and son. They're like brother and sister. They're like boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm like, what? I'm like, she's too young looking. I'm sorry, it was crazy. But yeah, Ebony says yes, Jordan's a man. I'm like, yeah, no, Portia's dad. That would be funny if Jordan got with Portia's dad or Portia's brother.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be hot. Oh, especially with Portia's brother Zeke. Oh, yes. but even if she got with Sterling, Rico Ross. Oh,
I know. So I'm all in, but I think we're all agreeing so far. I think we're all agreeing she's hot, and she should have men just falling at her feet. It should be just falling at her feet. Well, I don't know what's going on with that. They say they have those ugly suits, and it was like, come on, folks, let's get her out there and out and about, please. Her and Portia's dresses, the nurse's ball, were the bomb.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Hot stuff, maybe this evening. They were hot. I was like, both of them were hot stuff. I didn't want women. I was turned on. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if General Hospital is gonna try to have them go on the dating scene together, like, because this Curtis thing is like,
he's annoying.
You know, and I got an issue with Curtis. I'm just gonna go there. People, I'm just gonna go there. Like, y'all know me. Y'all know how I get down. Curtis loves his white women. Curtis loves his white women, Nina and Hayden and Laura. And it's like, but when he be up in Jordan's face, putting her down, it's like, but you don't do that when it comes to Nina, Hayden, and to Laura. What's that about? What's that about?
He's just hot. Everybody knows I love my Donnell Turner. I love my man. Sorry. I'm sorry. Were you talking? I'm sorry. I just love my man. I'm like,
it's all right, James, because it's like, yo, like you go hard on homegirl over there, but Nina come to you with her bullshit.
Yes.
And
that's true.
It's just like, yo, because I used to wonder, are they gonna bang? Because to be honest with you, I want to know if I was waiting for him and Selena to bang.
I know. I was hoping that would happen. I was hoping.
Because the way she was up on his face,
Ooh, she was thirsty too. She was
she was very thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, James? I got a feeling that when Portia find out that he been letting Selena do her illegal stuff at the Savoy.
Remember, she said the other day, she goes, "Who you gonna get help from, Sonny or Selena?" I was like, Oh, Jason goes, and Alexis too. He's friends with Alexis. That was more Sean and Alexis.
Yeah.
So that's another one. Sean Blakemore. Shit.
Ooh.
Hot as F. He's on All Rise. So you guys want to watch this on OWN. And there was a sex dream between the lead actress on the show. She plays a judge.
Yeah.
And it was with. I was like, I need a shower after that. I was like, Sean Blakemore can get it. Sean Blakemore can get it. You know he can.
Oh yeah. I remember when Sean and Alexis got together the first time, and Alexis said, "I'm good." Hold on. Because he was almost with Carlin.
I know.
He was almost with Carlin. Mm-hmm. Sonny was hating on Sean. But then there was a scene when Sonny told Jordan how he liked things spicy. All right,
I like it spicy. I like it spicy too. Oh, well.
Mr. Maurice Bernard over there. I just read it. I just read his memoir.
That's good. Well, everybody knows I'm going to be on his show, so we're working on the dates and stuff.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Thank you. So we've been talking. We've been becoming friends back thing. Yeah, Sean and Carly was a missed opportunity. I totally agree. Sean's a man. Sean's a man.
Oh yeah. And it's funny how Nina being nosy, going to go and tell Sonny, about Carly calling the hotel room with Brick. And Sonny opened Brick's face. I said, Sonny, it's like every time that was the second time with Carly, first showing it with Brick. He all up in their face. I'm like, Sonny, what's up with you, what's up with you, Sonny? With your Corinthos coffee.
Good.
And I'm wondering who's in them, and then with his sugar plantations too.
In Puerto Rico, my family's working them. My family's working them over there. They're working it on the plantation in that sugar cane. Yeah, Smike is doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that's a whole other story. And folks, yes, I know that his character is half Latino, but he never plays it. So I'm just like, I got a huge fight about that last year. I was like, yes, I know he's Latino on some level, but they never. Della, his mother was Latino. They never play it. He has no Latino art on his walls. Nothing on it. Nothing. They never play it. So he's always with white women.
Yeah, and it's funny. All his children's nannies were all Latinas.
Yeah.
Going back to her name is not coming to me. Michael's nanny. I forgot what her name was. Letitia.
So, yeah.
She was killed. She was killed off. I'm like, really?
They kill all his women. That's why I'm like, Willow, can you die, please, already? Shit.
Oh, I can't stand her. I'm sorry. Willow, I can't stand her. It's like she's so ungrateful.
Oh, and okay, to bring up something else, yes, Molly and TJ.
Oh,
so my thing is, I want to invest in them, but I have no investment because they barely show them together.
No.
At least TJ is getting more as a doctor scenes. I actually was like, I kind of like TJ and Willow for a minute. I was like, that could have been exciting a little bit.
Yeah.
It didn't go there. But Molly, I'm like, they don't ever show her. They don't even show Christina. They never show that or show her everywhere. But it's just like, that's kind of my point. It's like, hello, let's show them and I can get invested.
Yes, even with Molly, she was getting on my nerves during Trina's trial. Oh, she was getting on my last nerve working with ADA Arden. That ADA Arden. No, she was getting on my last nerve in anyway. God, it's like I wanted to say to her, you are a racist. She was railroading Trina.
Yep.
I was like, and Molly working with her, knowing that TJ and Trina are practically cousins.
Right.
I was like, Dan and Chris, what were y'all? Did y'all go to a long lunch that particular day? I was looking at Molly like, but you know what? I'm not really surprised about Molly. Because I do remember her when she was a little girl. Oh, she loved talking about those Cassadines. Yep. But Lex is like, don't.
Oh, Chatter was bringing up several people I had heard in a while. I forgot Felix had a sister on the show for a while.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying Felix's sister should come back with TJ's child.
Oh, yeah, because he lost his virginity in that limo.
I forgot about that. And then they're bringing up, which I agree, Jason and BDI Derek, Andre Maddox and Anna, they were fire.
Yeah.
I love them together.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre was, my man, Anthony Montgomery, and they brought him back recently for that one little cameo.
Yeah.
I loved Andre, the character Andre. Loved him. I would love someone to play Epiphany's sister. I know that, I think that ship has sailed. Remember, she had a son. Stafford. He got killed
Yeah,
too.
Stan. Yeah.
Played by Kiko Ellsworth, whatever. They had to play it. Taylor was her name. Okay, Taylor was Felix.
Yeah, Taylor.
I forgot about her actually. Well, Felix just gets propped up out for a nurse's ball, and that's it. Because again, doing you saw the gay stuff. There's no gay stuff on there. Poor Brad just sitting there. I said Brad and Cody they should make Cody gay, and Brad and Cody should have been together. I told Perry Shin that in my interview.
Oh, that would be hot.
They had chemistry. And I was like, they should have did that, but they didn't do that, of course. They would have put him with Britt. You know how that went.
Oh, that was such
horrible.
That was horrible. It looked like to me, Kelly. Kelly looked bored.
She did. She's like, I'm getting out of here anyway.
Yeah.
I'm leaving in a few months.
And everybody started calling him Truck Nuts.
Yeah, I know. The name, you guys on Twitter are hilarious. Some of the things you guys
Truck Nuts.
I know, but like the character was written so bad. Now they're writing a little better.
Yeah.
He was written so bad. I was like,
yeah.
Right. Kelly was just like, I got my Emmy, and it's like, I got to deal with this. Okay.
The thing with Taylor is interesting with her because when she was played originally by Samantha Logan, that's on All American.
Oh, okay. I know that.
And when she was on the lighter side, but what happened? They recast her with a darker skinned actress. They ain't right for her. Her name was Pepe Sananga. They ain't right for Taylor at all. Daytime has always done that. They would have someone lighter and then replace them with a darker skinned actress, and there's no fanfare with that. I remember As a Returns did that with Tamara Tooney and the other actress who played her. Her name is not coming to me right now. There was no fanfare. And it's like, come on, really?
I always call it out. People get mad at me, but I always call it out. I'm just like, oh my God, you guys. It's like we don't all look the same. It's like we have different colors and shapes, and it should matter when you cast somebody else. Like when you recast somebody, it should matter. In terms of there's plenty of actors in Los Angeles, trust me, that can act, and you can find her close to the coloring of the other actress. I said Tabiana was the only one I was kind of like, good. It gets somebody a little darker, good. Because we don't know anything about her really besides Portia. Now we know she has a grandfather, a mother somewhere, and then she has an uncle. So we know that now. But I was like, well, sure, why not? Again, people come in different colors. Right? There are folks who are black who aren't mixed race who are light skinned.
Right.
There are folks who are too light skinned who have dark skin. It's all genetics. Care Bear, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
People be, because I know there was tweets about, Tabiana, she can't be Portia's daughter and all this stuff. It's like, because people argue that same shit on the Cosby Show with Sandra and with Denise.
Yeah.
Right.
It happens. Come on, folks. It happens. Trust me. My siblings are all different colors. Trust me. All different colors. It just happens. Wherever your genetics, you grab from somewhere.
Right.
That's what you get. And with the Cosby Show, they had 5 kids. So different things came out, out of nowhere. Also, we got mentioned in the chat earlier, Valerie. Obviously, Sarpy went on to Young and Restless, but they recast the actress, and nothing.
It's like, and I kind of knew that was going to happen. It's like things look a little promise, but then nothing happens. Even with Valerie, her and Christina, that was just like stalled. General Hospital, they with their LGBT stuff that's not going on. You got Terry over here. Terry over there. Oh, she was getting on my nerves too. Biz. Finn wants to talk to you, Biz. What's going on with you, Biz? It's like, Terry, really?
I know, yes. I know you don't like that. Yes. Yes, and Valerie was a Spencer. She's a Spencer.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I'm like, Valerie's a Spencer. Paulina Bugambe assumed the role.
Yeah.
Nothing, she just phased out like a lot of Black characters always do, be phased out. No goodbye. You see them one day, next day they're gone, and it's like, and then with her and Christina, I would have wanted to see that. But the LGBT characters, they don't got nothing to, and I want to see LGBT characters on my screen as well. You know, I want to see them integrated with the action. Oh God. Even though that Young Wrestlers, the try, they doing everything off screen, and I'm like, you know, but I would love to see, I want to see a lot of representation, and I'm glad that we're having this forum tonight, because I live in Queens. Queens is like one of the most diverse boroughs out here in New York. Like I grew up living among many cultures. I went to John Brown High School in Flushing, Queens. Very multicultural, and that's, I would say that about John Brown High School. I had classmates and friends of all different walks of life, you know, and so it amazes me when people accuse me of you anti this. No, I'm not anti anything. I'm just speaking out on what the optics of what I see. And as a Black African American man, I'm going to always call stuff out about race, sexuality, media portrayal, life. I'm going to always speak out about stuff. I've been on this earth. I've been doing that all of my life. You know, okay, like that's not looking right. That's not, something has to be, because I'm for the underdog. I've always been that type of person, and me as a librarian, I will call stuff out in a second. Like I will let them know, okay, I didn't like the way how so-and-so spoke to that patron or patrons. And when I do this as a librarian, this is a passion of mine. I take this very seriously. I'm a professional. So when I go to work, I'm professional. But see, what happens is when you're in certain spaces and you're coming as a Black person, black man, you're supposed to go with the stereotypes. And when you don't go with the stereotypes, that's just all over. When you don't come with the stereotypes, people get upset with you. And I notice even when we talking about the topic that we're talking about tonight, you know, and it's like it all comes from the writers' room. It comes from the writers' room, the EPs, and the networks. So it's a business at the end of the day. And I would just say that, like, I used to beg on Twitter, oh, Frank, Brad, Josh, Ron, please affirm me. You know, that sounds pathetic. We got to stop begging in 2023. We have all of this technology with us. We have talent. Let's start working on creating our own stuff. This is why, James, I love you so much, because you're doing this, JLJ Media. We got to start our own stuff. Stop begging these people to affirm us, because I shouldn't have to go to Frank and Brad and Josh and Ron, Chris and Dan. Oh, validate me as a Black person. Affirm me. You already affirmed. I'm affirmed. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, you need to affirm me as a Black person, as a Latino, Asian, gay, straight, poor, rich, what have you. And I just think that that's one thing we need to stop doing. Okay, it's okay to say we will love on our screens, but to be begging, hashtagging them, no, because they're going to do what they're going to want to do. That's just the bottom line of it. It's a business. And I just think change happens when you start, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to watch your show. Maybe let me go to the library. Let me go to the bookstore. Let me go on YouTube. Let me talk to professionals. Let me find out, how can I do an audio soap? How can I do a podcast? That's why I love you. I love Candace Mack. I love Casey Hutchinson. I love Tommy and Aaron. I love Michael Fairman. I love Tony Moore, Justin, Araceli, Michael, everybody whose names I'm not coming up with. I apologize. Oh, Jacarius. I love all of you. I love Soap Twitter, because the thing, y'all doing it. You know, Jamie, Daytime Confidential, Melody, Jillian, a bunch of these other people's names I'm not coming up with. No shade. But I love what y'all are doing. I love what I'm doing. You know, we're gatekeepers here. You know, and we got to be the ones to change the narrative.
Yes. And that's where we end the show. You said it all, folks. You said it all. And we're at the 2-hour mark. So this is a topic that can go on forever.
Yeah.
We have 33 people are in the chat room right now. We love you.
Wow. Thank you.
They came for you. They came for you.
I love y'all. Thank y'all.
The chat room was on fire. They're agreeing with you. And some more may come out of this. I'm getting some messages, private messages, that people want me to do some more about this. So I'll talk race every day, all day long. I have no problem.
Me too. Me too.
So just stay tuned with that. But thank you so much for sharing and coming on, Donald.
Oh, you're welcome, James. You know, I'm busy with researching for this book project, but I'm not busy. I'm not busy for you because you came out for me when I spoke to you for the project. So it's about returning the favor. It's about showing gratitude, and that's what it is. See, once you show gratitude, you show the love. It comes back to you. So thank you for having this, and Chandra, thank you because you wanted us to talk about this because this is an important conversation that we should be having because we're not on the playing field. If we were all on the playing field, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But we got to still continue to advance our civil and our human rights and just be pro people.
Yeah, I agree.
And just call shit out when you see it. I'm that type of person before we go. I'm the type of person, I tell my friends like this, I don't like the way how that someone spoke to you. I'm going to go to corporate. That's what I do. Ray Strong and Eric, they know. I'm like this. I go into a business and y'all want to come and talk smack to me? I ain't going to argue with you. I'll get your name. I'll go right online. I'll go to your corporate. That's what you got to do. You can't be that doesn't work.
That's very good. Where can they find you on social media if they want to follow you?
Oh, well, right now I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram. My Facebook, it's going through a transition. I'm about to get a brand new page in a month because it was hacked. So once it's hacked, I'm getting these strange friend requests. So what I'm going to do is, in May, middle of May, I'm going to do another page because I'm getting ready for what's about to happen. Y'all know what's going to happen. So I got to be professional and look professional. And it's just a brand new store. So right now, y'all can find me on Twitter, Donald Peebles or Donald Peebles Jr. and on Instagram.
Follow him and see him get in trouble. Don't follow him get in trouble. You can find me. We're all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. Extra Connections is on Facebook, the page there. But you can follow me anywhere at James Lott Jr. or JLJ Media. And everybody in the chat room, there's some of you guys I don't know who you are. Thanks for joining us. The ones I do know, thanks for joining us. Derek, I'm seeing all these names coming up. Duan and Jason and me and Beauty for Ashes and Daisy Flower and Ebony. I mean, you guys are great. Thank you so much. And this discussion will continue.